Hello everyone, I'm Gerone Wright here. Once again, you're joining me on my Geronification channel here on YouTube. All right. In this image here, I don't know if this is an Andean Bolivia image or ancient Bolivia image, or a little bit of mixed of with Peru. Okay, these where these depictions are taken off of artifacts. Okay, and I believe that this is an ancient Indian god here. But what I want to show you about this is that you have always, when these depictions are being made here, that you have like this a man, you have the beast, and then you have the serpent. It's my position that what you see here, the circulation of these creatures around this man figure, is what we see in Christianity today, and where you see halos over supposedly divine beings. It's my position that this is what it's always been about. Mankind created from the cyclination of these creatures. So let's go through that one more time. This is no different than if this was a depiction of Jesus, Mary, John the Baptist, or any other, the Virgin, or any other being depicted in ancient religious depictions where there is a halo. It's my position that this is no different than that in Christianity, and if there was a halo over the person that is actually being described as being divine. My other position about this is to go earlier back than this. The depictions would show these snakes as in Medusa protruding from the head, where it was once believed that these beings and these depictions were being as mythical. It's my finding and my discovery that they are actually factual. These creatures are creatures that mankind evolved through a specific targeted genetic manipulation and bridging process, which actually occurred, and it was engaged in a cult-like ritual way that calls for the introduction of mankind's genes with that of animals. And this is what the existence of mankind is all about. Now, one might wonder, for example, how could we undermine these images now, later on here? Being us in the future, how could we possibly undermine all of this? Think about it in us today. Nothing matters more to us than who we genetically are, or where we evolved from. Nothing mattered more to us now. So, having said that, how do you believe that our ancestors felt? They depicted, they knew who they were. They depicted their identity. They knew who they were. They knew where they came from. And the record was left for us to read. We allowed for modern day science and for religion to distort our true identity as to who we genetically were. They are the guilty parties. Actually, religion, ancient religion, because that actually influenced everything else. It influenced medicine and science and everything else. So religion has to be blamed for all of this, for denying us our true identities. Now, I like to give us common sense scenarios. Imagine, imagine our world ended today. And then later on, at some point and all, other life came into play. An intelligent form where they finally evolved to where, almost where we're at now. Let's just say life started all over again, another cycle of life. And similar intelligence of life came in where they were able to think and talk and communicate in a way that we actually do. Now, and somewhere buried beneath the earth in some type of cavern or something, there is where your basement used to be of your home, stored away. There's pictures of you and your family and in a chest. And someone finds it. That later on in evolved life form finds it. Let's just give it maybe 60, 70,000 years from now. Let's just say. And the pictures of your children, your husband, your family, your mother, and your sisters and your brothers, because you look different, so much differently than what the life form had actually evolved to at that point, which looked different. They're saying that you were a deity, must have been a god, must have been something. Now, I mean, think about it for a minute. Things, relics found from your home that you have now you're considered to be something other than what you actually were. Oh, you couldn't have existed. There's no way that you could have looked the way you possibly did, because the people that found these artifacts in your basement that 100,000 years away, now you're long gone, extinct. They're stating that you could never have existed. You must have been a god. Do you get the picture, people? This is something that existed before there was us. These are our ancestors. And this is what the problem is. This is the missing part of us that was barricaded, that was suppressed. And what was it suppressed by? Ancient religion. Because ancient religion wants you to believe that there was nothing before us. Not in this sense, anyway. They wanted you to believe that there was this placement of mankind just popped up from the heavens, placed there from the heavens. And where now, reality is that not only did we evolve from the oceanic properties of our world, which is a water world. A water world, people. That's what our world is. A water world. We are living in an aquarium that is constantly losing its levels of water. And as these levels of water are being lost, creatures are evolutionizing themselves onto the land property elements of our world. Just as you will see and go and witness in your lake today. The same exact thing. No different. No different. If you were to go and you see the turtles and you see the frogs laying out on limbs, sunbathing, eventually those creatures would evolve from where to point to where they don't have to be in the water. They stay out longer and longer and longer out of the water. Those turtles at your pond that you see on those logs coming out sunbathing, eventually their bodies, the chemistry in their bodies will allow for them to stay out longer and longer and longer. And people, that's who we are today. We evolutionized from the oceanic properties of our aquarium, our fish tank. But anyway, this is not what this video is about. I just wanted to go there with you for a minute. We evolved from this creature, the serpent, which represents many other creatures. Okay? This creature, there's a chain of events that this creature shows us on how we came to the likenesses of mankind as we are today. The Peruvian burial stones show us as these serpent monsters, these serpent creatures. It shows us through each stage, on each civilization, on each continent, how we came from these creatures. And how this creature evolved out of, listen, through our bodies, and how we actually got it out. It shows us how this creature, from this creature, came these likenesses. I can show you how this creature evolved from space, even. But anyway, here, and this is the Peruvian, Bolivia, Colombia. These images, all through those areas. Even in India, this almost looks like something of the Maya. You know how the Mayas got the mankind and then the snakes, the serpents. But anyway, here, let's go here for a minute. This video gets better too, by the way. I'm just starting off slow here. The day is Monday. Had a long day. I mean, a long day yesterday. Well, it was a long day yesterday, yeah. All right. Here. I guess this is an Indian deity, or they don't call it a deity, but this is India. And this is the Nubian lion goddess. Ironically, that's what I called the Great Sphinx. I called it the Nubian, I think serpent god or cobra god or something like that along those sorts. The same exact thing. Here, over here, you have a snaking body, and then at the end it has a lion's head. People, it's telling you that the lion emerged from that of the serpent. And then there's a bridging process. There's a reintroduction of all of this. It's my position every 400 plus 500 years, these creatures can be bridged back over again. But the genetics, after they did their first course, you can come back over again. But look at this, people. This glyph on this pyramid-like structure. Look at this. A lion on a snake. This is going somewhere. Believe me, I'm not letting this. I'm just starting off slow. But look at this. Now, these are things that you know about. These are things that you can see in your face. How about the things that you can't see? This is how I know that, besides through my paranormal experience and encounter, that I know that these things existed. Because I am linked to these beings. But this is stuff that's in your face. Now, to show you that what I state is true, and this is just another example, is that this creature, this serpent creature, these creatures have a multidimensional sense of awareness, a multidimensional sense of vision. And the beings that created these structures did not create them through the eyes and through the sense and through the awareness and through the mentality that we have and through the sense of being altogether that we have today. They create these structures through the eyes and the sense. Beings that closer, the older they are, the more so that they create them in the sense of our reptilian ancestor, which had that reptilian sense of touch, craftsmanship, vision. It's a multi-dimensional sense of being, a reptilian sense of being. So this stuff that's in your face, I can take you behind the scenes of this to show you they really existed, because there are other structures globally that people do not even know about. And I did something similar with Angkor Wat. See my Angkor Wat video here, okay? Because there in the eaves, I found two turtles facing up, and I'm not talking about no regular small turtle, people. I'm talking about obvious turtles that's built into the eaves. The whole top of one of the Angkor Wat buildings is um, the shell on either side of the turtle, and then the heads are going up, showing you that the turtle was the cause for the genetic becoming of those people and bridging over. See that video, because I'm going to do the same thing here with you with India. Notice the lion, and then the body, and then the snake. Well, people, here's a building in India. Hold on before I go to that. Then there's the mythology in India. Let me go with the mythology image before I take you to an actual image. Notice how you have this lion, and then it's on like not a gazelle, but a horned like goat creature. I don't know what they have over there in India, but you notice the horn and that. But you notice that it's green. It represents reptilian, and the lion's bridged over. Shows you a cyclination of these genes, and then they're controlled. You see the serpent like in hand, showing you an extraction of genes, well, creation, and then an extraction of genes based on utilizing this creature. And then look, notice her hair, and then notice notice that the lion and the man figure bear a striking resemblance. Look at the man's face. Look. And look at his hair. Matching genetically that of the lion, people. What better, listen, I almost going to say, what fucking better proof do you need than that? But I'm going to go on and on and on, because it gets better. But people, you have this creature, this lion, into the blood of this creature down here. This four-legged animal, like a friggin' goat that's malnutrition or whatever. But anyway, it's a horned being. I don't know what they're going to call it there. I don't know what they're actually called. Okay, so I'm not going to go looking for the words and all. But the lion's claw is dug into the body of that creature, and it shows you that the lion has the blood on its paw. Now look, the right paw is into this creature with the blood, showing you that the lion took on the blood of this reptilian creature, which was bridged over with reptilian. That's why it's green. The lion touching into the blood, coming out into the lion's body, and then now the lion's over here to the man. And lo and behold, here's this guy looking exactly like the lion. And then it shows you in the overall image the creature, the genes. This creature represents genetically what is cycling here. It's just an image of genetics that were created in the direction that they're going. The image is about this down here. This is a psychological image of these genes that were created here. And it tells you. And the entire history, cultural of India can be read the same exact way. Now, I was talking about a multidimensional sense of vision and a multidimensional sense of awareness. So you're saying, Jerome, this is a painted after image. These are just images that were created. They could still be, deities or whatever. But how about the things that nobody never found before? You see this? I'm going to share with you a discovery that no one has never found before. So this video would mark this as a brand new ancient discovery that not even India knows about. You know how I can do this? The same thing I did with Angkor Wat. You know how I can do this? It's because I have that multidimensional sense of awareness and that multidimensional sense of vision. And I know what mankind's true existence is all about. If I can get this to come over there. Okay, now, people for the first time ever, you will see a discovery that no one has ever knew about until now. I have never visited India, possibly never will. I guess maybe when I get my private jet from all of this, maybe I might go there because I'll be able to do a better job than a lot of those historians and many others there. Now, looking at this image, this is a brand new discovery, people, that's never been released. India does not even know about it. Hold on. Let me get this up here like this. I guess I'm going to have to leave the other ones back there. This is an Indian temple. This is an Indian temple. Alright, in India. An ancient Indian temple. Alright, I did have the name of it, but I don't recollect what it is now. It just really doesn't matter because India knows what it is. So, these temples, just like in Angkor Wat, are built in glyph form, meaning that the faces are readable faces. These pyramids are built in a sense to where genetic bridging with that of mankind and with that of animal took place. So these structures show you at each level in which mankind was genetically altered by that and in change with that of animals. So in these columns, there are multidimensional faces, mutations of our ancestors, which can be read, which can be drawn out. The reason why you cannot see them is because mentally you are unaware of them. That makes sense? Because your logic, your sense stop with that of the religion and God putting a hand through the sky and placing you here. That's where you stop at. Your sense of logic, your sense of awareness with who your ancestors are. You cannot see the faces of your ancestors here because you do not have the sense to even know that they exist. And even if you did see their faces, you would dismiss them as being illusions or disillusions of our ancestors, not giving them the credit for knowing who they genetically were or where they genetically came from. So, India has this lion goddess. I'm telling you, just from this cartoon-like image that is stating that this man is genetically, that's why this right paw of the lion is out here and the left paw is out to this man, showing you that there was a genetic bridge. There's a genetic cyclization, and that's why those two look genetically like each other. You see that, people? Well, India's history, ancient history, then is based on the genetics and the bridging of this creature, which calls for the likenesses of our Indian people, which began or originated from our ape and African ancestor. So, with no further ado, this is a pyramid, a grail, of how Indian people came into existence. They would have been bridged over from the civilization of people before them. How were they genetically altered? There's a serpent in the Eve, and then there's a lion right here. There's the right eye, the left eye, the nose, the mouth, and the chin. The face of a lion, and the serpent is here. I'll show you more in a minute. Now, notice this little black portion right here? Let me color that in for you, so you will know exactly what I'm actually stating here. Do I have a color marker here? I should. Here, right here. I'm going to color that in for you right here. This area right here that I'm coloring in with the marker, if you take this image down to thumbnail size, it becomes the hair with that of a likeness of man. Let me see if I got that for you. You see that? You see that, people? Bring that image down to thumbnail size, and that lion's face turns to the face of man. Because what this is telling you is that over a sequence of genetic bridging with the serpent, and I'm going to show you the serpent in a minute, people, with the lion, the likeness of that mankind's face. Okay. Right there. This is where the Indian people genetically came from. Amazingly, look at the hairdo on that. Reminiscent with that of everything that I've just stated, people. Look at that. Now, let me draw you out the line. I have it drawn out in other ways, but look at this, people. This is what our ancestors were all about. Now, amazingly, people, such a structure on such a scale. Imagine our ancestors having the remarkable ability to create this megalithic structure and then include a grail of multidimensional faces. Look, people, all the way down. I can single out each face going down of our ancestors. Imagine that, people. Imagine this is something that is far greater than anything you can imagine, ever. See if I can get that lion's face in more, so without overdoing it, overkill. It could be overkill on this too. I should have put the other whisker on that guy over there like that, but I should have made it more of a point there, I guess. But anyway, I should, oh, it's the other one. I did that one. I should have did this one. But see, people, this is what this is all about. Now, you back off, and this becomes the image of man. Multidimensional images. The contributing creature, you see these ruffles up here? They represent a reptilian ancestor, and their bodies come snaking around, mouth open and going in. I wonder if I have an image of that. I'm going to show you that lion creature up closer now that I'm actually. India knew nothing about this. Look at the multidimensional faces of the creatures that's actually shown in the eave section of this pyramid. Look at this. The building is a glyph of who the Indian people are genetically. Their genetic grail, discovered by me, not by Indians. It gets better, but I'm going to leave you with that. You see, people, who we are has always been known. Your identities are known. Here's another image of that highlight being close up. You see that, people? I wonder if I can draw you an open mouth serpent here. In fact, I'll come around with the pencil. You look here on either side. It's the wrapping around body. You'll see the mouth of a serpent open. The bottom lip portion going into over the eyebrow of the lion figure. See the same thing over on this side? This is the cat-like creature. See that? They wrap around the eaves. And you know what that's almost like wearing? The crown of a snake over the lion. So, we have a lion with a crown that represents the serpent. You ever see our lion king, well, not our king lion, the way the lion is wearing the crown? Ever wonder where that image came from? Look at this, people. This creature genetically causing for the genetic becoming and altering of the Indian people. And it's right there on one of their own buildings, and they didn't even know it until I showed it to them. This video marks another find, an amazing discovery. I did it first. I showed it to you first in my video of Angkor Wat, Cambodia, in the eaves there. Look at that video, people, because on either end you have the turtles coming up doing the same exact thing in an identical way of these eaves. Each culture and each civilization tells you who they genetically are, and in some cases on a megalithic scale, such as there is here. This would have been the same thing with Africa, which would have been first. However, Africa is, well, not, it actually wouldn't have been first. Actually, Africa would have been on following that of my discovery from the Grand Canyon and from North and South America, because that's where life originated at. There. Then Africa, then our Asian, and then following. This, people, is readable material that brings you into understanding all of our ancient history today, because this came first. Understanding this, you can understand everything that is now in place in ancient religion, ancient texts, ancient everything. Not just that, I can translate this into what's actually right in holographic form in space. This is who we are, people. My name is Gerone Wright. You're watching my Geronification channel, and it's my position that there are multidimensional images in this building, readable images of our ancestral faces that show for who we are and tell who we are. And through each culture group and every civilization that came after this, it's my position from through the Grand Canyon onto the continent of Africa, through all of our Asian world, our European, and all of our civilizations. There's pieces of puzzles that can be pieced together to tell from how from this creature and many other creatures of our world, mankind evolved into the likenesses and the forms of what they are today. And this, people, is beyond a holy grail, because you got to take, the holy grail, to hell with a holy grail. This is game over. This is everything is taken out of the equation. This is reality. How can you have a serpent wrapped around on a building, meeting with the lion, showing you the lion's face, then when you pull away from it, the lion's face, and then shows you all of the other mutations that resulted genetically from the chemistry of these genetic exchanges? Multidimensional images. My name is Gerone Wright. I'm out.